Man, oh man, what a week it's been for Microsoft. It's been such a great week for Microsoft. First of all, if you've been living under a rock, Microsoft won the case against the FTC. The judge ruled in favor of Microsoft to go and to close the deal with Activision Blizzard and acquire them before the 18th of July. However, the FTC, in a last ditch attempt, they appealed the decision to the Ninth Court of Appeal. And man, the FTC is just not having a good week, man. The appeal got denied. First of all, it got denied by the previous judge of the lower court that provided judgment in favor of Microsoft. And now the FTC's second appeal for a preliminary injunction was denied by the Ninth Court of Appeal, man. It's a really bad week for FTC, man. Now in this video I want to discuss this, what the outcome of this will be, what the possible outcome is going to be, what the landscape might be looking like for PlayStation as well as Xbox with this acquisition once it goes through. And man, there's a lot to unpack. Let's get to it. The news just broke, man. And Tom Warren just said that, according to sources, the Ninth Circuit Court has denied the FTC's request for injunction relief. Microsoft is now free to close its Activision Blizzard deal after 11:59 p.m. today, as long as the UK situation can be resolved. Now we know the CMA is still is still blocking the deal, and they are all concerned about the cloud gaming thing, right? But they have been a bit lenient, and Microsoft and the CMA in the process of negotiations. But we know that the CMA also extended their decision till August 29th, and I think that's another attempt to delay the acquisition. But this does not stop Microsoft from acquiring Activision before the 18th of July. So yeah, if that happens and the CMA and Microsoft has not come to some sort of agreement, then the UK unfortunately will be excluded from the acquisition, and that means Call of Duty and Activision titles IP will not be available in the UK, which I think the CMA will not allow that, because you're going to let a market suffer. You're going to let your citizens, your consumers, that suffer. So CMA, just get down and dirty to getting to a resolution with Microsoft, please, man. But yeah, the FTC's last-ditch attempt to appealing the decision was denied. Now, first of all, let's just go to where it was first denied. First of all, Judge Corley herself denied the appeal from FTC, and let's just go to this article on IGN. It says, not only as a request by the Federal Trade Commission, which is the FTC, to temporarily halt Microsoft's $68.7 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard, pending its appeal decision being denied, but Microsoft and Activision are also reportedly considering selling off some of the UK cloud gaming rights to appease the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, as CMA. So Microsoft has provided a solution to the CMA. They're saying that they will sell off some of the cloud gaming rights to other telecommunication companies and things like that. And here's the thing, the ball's in the CMA's court now to decide whether this is sufficient or not. And if they continue denying it, like I said, the UK will be excluded from the acquisition. So as reported by Reuters and Bloomberg, Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley, the same judge who denied the FTC's preliminary injunction request against the massive deal, also denied the FTC's request to stop the deal until the Ninth Court of Appeals has made its decision. So the FTC asked this court to enjoin the merger at issue pending resolution of the FTC's appeal to the Ninth Court of Appeals. The motion is denied. This is what Judge Corley wrote. Okay, so Corley's decision to deny this motion and the FTC's preliminary injunction was due to many factors, with one of the main reasons being Call of Duty. Right? So Judge Corley wrote that Microsoft's acquisition of Activision has been described as the largest in tech history, which is true. Judge Corley said in the ruling, it deserves scrutiny. That scrutiny has paid off. Microsoft has committed in writing, in public, and in court to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for the next 10 years on parity with Xbox. Now, let's just hold it there. We know that Microsoft offered Sony PlayStation to keep PlayStation on their platform for the next 10 years, but Jim Ryan they refused this offer. So from what I've been reading and from what I've been seeing on YouTube and that, with the current deal that PlayStation currently has in place with Activision, they will only have those exclusive party licensing for the next installment, which is next year. After that deal is done. What does that mean then? Will Call of Duty no longer be on PlayStation? Now I still stand on the point in that it will be dumb of Microsoft not to include Call of Duty on the PlayStation platform, because it will be a loss of money for them. But they've got very deep pockets, and I don't think they would really care if it was kept off the PlayStation platform. But maybe maybe Jim Ryan and Phil and Uncle Phil, they are probably in process of negotiation. They'll probably negotiate something outside of this case to keep Call of Duty on the PlayStation platform. Who knows? Okay, let's read further. Xbox also made an agreement with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to Switch, and it entered several agreements to, for the first time, to bring Activision's content to several cloud gaming services. So this court's responsibility in this case is narrow. It is to decide if, notwithstanding these current circumstances, the merger should be halted, perhaps even terminated, pending a resolution of the FTC's administrative action. For the reasons explained, the court finds the FTC has not shown a likelihood it will prevail on its claim this particular vertical merger in this specific industry may substantially lessen competition. To the contrary, the record evidence points to more consumers' access to Call of Duty and Activision content. The motion for a preliminary injunction is therefore denied. So the judge basically saying that with the acquisition, it's good for gamers as a whole. That if this merger goes through, more players, like Nintendo Switch players, will have access to Call of Duty. More cloud gaming services will have access to these games. As we all know, Call of Duty is the biggest first-person shooter out there. It makes millions each and every year. It's the top-selling first-person shooter every single year. That is just insane. And now, basically, with this merger, more players have access to it, and that is why the motion was denied. Let's go on further. Now, the main argument was that Judge Corley did not apply the correct legal standard, where Judge Corley found it that the merger will not be a detriment or will be harmful to the gaming community as a whole, basically. What they said is that it was not about there being a definite negative impact, but the possibility of one, the probability of one, that in the wording it should have been that there may be and not that there will be. Which, in my sense, look, we've seen that if the deal goes through, more players have access to Call of Duty. So the entire argument based on it just doesn't make much sense. And now we've seen the fact that it's been denied. But let's look at Microsoft's response to this. So Microsoft has further responded to the FTC's appeal, saying that the FTC does not identify a single legal error in this court's reasoning, nor any reason to think that any of the complaints they lodged would have changed the outcome. Yo, if you haven't watched the case in Congress where Lynn Khan was on the hot seat, she was being grilled by Congress. They brought into her professionalism, that she's not a qualified lawyer. They brought into fact that she's bringing another losing case. They even asked directly, why is she wasting taxpayers' money to appeal a losing case and things like that. It's just mind-blowing. If you haven't watched it, it is on YouTube. Do yourself a favor, go and watch that hearing. It was insane. It was insane. Okay, now let's go to where the appeal itself has been denied by the Ninth Court. By the Ninth Court of Appeal. It's just getting worse and worse for the FTC. So, according to The Verge, the court denies FTC's last-ditch attempt to stop Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. The FTC has lost what may be its final attempt to block Microsoft from buying Activision Blizzard. It's the second loss for the FTC after a US federal judge denied its request for a preliminary injunction. That's what we spoke about earlier. This week to block Microsoft from acquiring Activision Blizzard until the conclusion of a separate FTC administrative case. The FTC appealed the decision by Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley, and now the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has denied its request for emergency relief to prevent Microsoft from closing the deal until the result of the FTC's appeal is complete. Wow. It's just crazy. It's been outright. That's the second denial that they've received in this week, and it's just insane. So Microsoft welcomed the denial late on Friday by saying, "We appreciate the Ninth Circuit Court's swift response denying the FTC's motion to further delay the deal. This brings us another step closer to the finish line in this marathon of global regulatory reviews," says Brad Smith. Man, listen, this deal is going through. Whether the CMA is still going to have, if the UK is going to be excluded or not, we have to wait and see. But I feel like this is going to go through soon. So the reason why this deal has to go through on the 18th, before the 18th or on the 18th, is because NASDAQ has announced that Activision Blizzard will be removed from the NASDAQ 100 index prior to market open on Monday, July 17th. So Microsoft and Activision are getting ready to close. So I think that if once it's been removed here, Microsoft can no longer acquire them after some time again when it's put on the open market again, something like that. I'm not too sure how the market things work, so don't grill me on that. But yeah, look, all in all, I think it's going to go through now. Microsoft would not be fighting this so hard if they were not confident that they would win it. Like I said, they have very deep pockets. But now the question is, what will the future of Xbox be? What will the future hold for Xbox? With Activision IP, with Call of Duty. So that is what I want to discuss in the next video. Our next topic of discussion is, how does the acquisition of Activision Blizzard change the landscape of the Xbox platform, the ecosystem for the future, and what does that entail for the landscape of PlayStation? And how this all will play into one another, what we can expect, what I am looking forward to. This is all things that I want to discuss in the next video, so be sure to hit that subscribe button, guys, for more discussion videos like these, for more live streams, and for more gaming reactions. I try to put out a video every week, so yeah, be sure to hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Rampage Army. Like I said, there's a lot to unpack here, and I will discuss my expectations of the acquisition once it goes through, once it's finalized, what I foresee in the future for Xbox. And as always, guys, I gotta love and leave you. Stay safe out there. The world is still crazy with all this madness going on. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.